Well, it sounds like we're going down memory lane.
Yeah, you expect that.
Hey, Beverly. How you doing? I hadn't spoken to Beverly. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Kathy.
Jackie, I must tell Vanetta that I was on with you tonight. She doesn't know.
Make sure you do.
I will tell her. I haven't called her yet, but I will.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat. The main reason we're doing this is because I was contacted by the school to get an award from the African American Alumni Council, which is a external group that's working with Georgia College to work with minority students. And I'm getting a Keepers of the Promise, and they asked me a series of questions, and I really had to think about them as it related to being Miss Georgia College. So I had to call Kathy because she's really the historian. She knows exactly what took place that night. I know Eva was there, and Beverly's in pictures, and I know my roommate was there. And I know Brenda was there because she did my face.
Every Black person on campus was there.
All the Black people on campus were there.
Yes.
All there.
Yes. Everybody.
That's right.
Well, the main reason I wanted to bring you together is to share, because you were in the audience, and Eva and Brenda had made it very clear how naive I was in school.
Did we say the same thing?
Yes. That I didn't know what was going on, and I wanted to have you to talk about the impression that night because you were in the audience, and my perspective was totally different from yours. And if you could share that, I like to share with the school. What I will be sending you is the virtual connection. So if you want to log on that night for the award from 7 to 8:30, I would love for you to do that. But I'll just let you give your impression because I think you have a different perspective that I don't. What Kathy had is what happened in the audience when my name was called.
Okay.
And I just know that all of you ladies were there.
Well, I can tell you if nobody else wants to talk, I'll just tell you, what I can remember. And then the others can just chime in, whatever. Okay. Well,
let's start.
Okay. Ready? Well, I do remember being there, of course, and Edwina, my roommate and good friend, we were sitting next to each other that night. And of course, we had our programs in hand. And I distinctly remember we went through each candidate with each part of the competition, and we rated each competitor. We did that in our books. And I still have my book, so I can look back and see how I rated each of the contestants. Wow. And so we were just making our comments, and we acted like we were judges, in other words. That's what we were doing while we were watching. It was just so exciting, to have two Black girls in that pageant. And we were just really excited to, to be there and to be a part of that. So I can remember as we went through and all of the contestants presented, especially in that talent category, I remember, we both said, oh, Monica's talent's by far the best. Some of these girls, they have talent, but it does not measure up to this floor exercise that Monica has done. She's so talented, and those judges have to rate her very, very high. We just kept saying that over and over. And so as we went through, when we got toward the end, well, when the pageant was near the end and we knew that an announcement was going to be made pretty soon, we compared our notes. Edwina and I compared our notes, and we were pretty even on both. She had rated some a little lower, I had rated some a little higher, and vice versa. But in the end, we both thought Monica should win. Of course, we thought Monica should win.
Right.
And so when they came out to make the announcement, we were just sitting on pins and needles almost, waiting for the name to be called. And as they called out the names in the various categories, they got to the talent competition and they said Monica had won that. And of course, we were just thrilled because we knew she was the best. And then later, when they called out the winner, we looked at each other with big eyes and thought, Monica won? Monica is the winner. I remember how excited we were. We jumped up out of our seats and screamed and started, applauding and all of that. And Monica, I remember, was standing on the stage looking like a deer with bright eyes, lights in her eyes. I mean, she was just staring into space. Do you all remember that?
Yes.
I mean, she had a very blank stare on her
like,
face.
is this for real? Is this happening to me?
Yeah, she didn't know what was going on, and she thought, who are they talking about? That's the look she had on her face. And I told her that the other day. But anyway, I just thought she was so surprised and just so shocked at what had just happened, like we all were, actually. I mean, we all wanted it to happen, but we knew the environment we were in, and it just seemed like it was just, we didn't know if it would happen or not, but we didn't know. We just didn't think it would happen then. But when it did, we were just excited about it. We knew it was the right thing, and we thought those were the best judges, and we talked about how good and fair the judges were because they told the truth. And we felt like they had judged Monica on her talent and that she had truly won that competition based on merit and not on anything else because she had been the best. And that's what made us feel so good about it. And I remember us just talking about how happy it made us for her to be the first Black woman, to become Miss Georgia College, because we knew it was, predominantly white female school for the most part. And it had not been coeducational for that long when we came. I think it was back in the late 60s when they converted it over. So we knew it hadn't been that long. And to have Miss Black Georgia College in 1975, so soon after it converted over, with it being predominantly white, and to have most of the judges, I think most of the judges were people who were not of color, let me just put it that way. And so it just seemed like it was just a wonderful thing. It had a great impact on all of us personally. And I think it had a great impact on the college, though I thought it could have been publicized more. Even at the time, I thought that. And it probably should be publicized even more now because she was the first. But those are my initial impressions. I'm sure there are other things too, but I just don't remember much else because we were all just so excited and happy and surprised that she had won it, and just was the best thing. It was one of the best things that happened to me while I was at Georgia College, actually. It really was a great experience.
As a transfer, I'm Brenda, coming into Georgia College, a predominantly white school. I came out of all Black schools, and that was my first encounter with Caucasians. I was just overjoyed. It was so much jubilee. It was a feeling of excitement that we had arrived and that they, as you stated, the judges were fair. They had to acknowledge Monica's talent. They could not take that away from her because it was there. And they did grade and judge her fairly. And it just made us feel such excitement, such joy, such happiness to know that we were able to witness the first African American queen from Georgia College, Milledgeville. And it was so much so, I think the clients at Central State Hospital was jumping over tables. It was
the other campus.
We jumped, we yelled, we hollered, and everything. And I had my afro, so I was a little Angela Davis. And to me, that was just, whew, this is it. I was so happy, so proud, and so thankful to be a part, to do my little part that I was able to do that evening. And Monica was just like a little naive girl. She still had breast milk behind her ears. But she was able to control her composure because she always had that beautiful smile. And there's nothing else you can say but happiness, joy. And like I said, I was so glad to be a part of it. And we all surrounded her. Like, it was not that many of us. I remember it was 25 of us. And we all were very close, and we communicated with each other. And this is what the students need to do now. They need to go back to grassroots so that they can grow and build on the foundation of the people that came before them. And life will be so much better. Yes, it will. Now, I've said my piece, but I don't think Monica naive anymore.
No, I probably am.
Well, I can agree with what Eva and Brenda said, but the thing that I will always remember, I don't remember what was going on around me because I was up screaming so loud. So they said that Monica was sitting up there. I don't even remember any of that. I just remember all 25 of us, because we were all sitting together on the right side of the stage. We were looking from the stage on the right side. We were all sitting up front on the right side, and we were all hollering and screaming. And I kind of looked a little bit to my right, and other people were not standing up hollering and screaming. But then all of a sudden, I heard another group of people screaming. And I'm going, who are these other people screaming? So I looked to my right, all the way to the back. And the guy from Georgia Military College, Junior College, had come in the back. And they were up screaming also. So it was euphoria. That's the only thing I have to say. It was a terrific night. And they're right. That was our sophomore year, and we had
freshmen
places all together. But one of the things that I can say about the African American students at Georgia College during that time, we were one. We came together, we supported each other. We had a Black Student Alliance Association that did a lot of things to support each other. So it was a great time. It was a great experience, and that was a very important piece of my 4 years of being there. And especially here we are 46 years later, and still together, still supporting each other.
Yeah.
I agree with Kathy and Eva and Brenda wholeheartedly. From my remembrance of that night, we were sitting on pins and needles, and like everybody said, we knew that because Monica was an athlete, they couldn't take that away from her because she was poise, dignity, everything wrapped into one package. And we knew that they couldn't take it away from her. And the moment that they called out her name, we were so elated. She is the queen, which set a precedent from this point forward. Now, what the young students need to do is get back to, like Brenda said, grassroots here, that we are all here together. When one hurt, the other one hurt. And if we see danger, we try to step in and sidetrack that. And I just don't think the young folks understand that concept now. It's all for one, whereas back 46 years ago, we were just one, looking out for each other. And Monica, we were so elated.
Oh my God.
We were just simply beside ourselves, could not believe what had actually happened. The good thing I would say about the piece that night, they had two outside judges could not, like Kathy said, they could not take that from her. So 46 years later, we're still together. Jackie, you want to jump in?
Well, y'all have said it all. I concur with all what you said. I totally agree that it was a very, very emotional night for all of us. The African Americans, we were so very proud of Monica. She was humble, she was beautiful, she was graceful, and we truly, truly admired her spirit. And she just enwrapped us in all her love. And we just truly, truly admired her for her humbleness and for her disbelief that she actually won. Yes. But that was something that really, really, really proved that your humbleness and your kindness and your worthiness will get you a long way. And that's what I think young people need to learn in today's society. Just stick together, love each other, support each other, and everything will be better.
Y'all going to make me cry. I'm just going to say this.
That's what we were doing that night.
We were. Exactly. We were just so proud. Like
I was just a poor girl from Richmond, and I look back at all the pictures, and I was sharing some things with Jackie, notes and letters from people, and I had the opportunity to really look at it. And then the questions from the school, and then realizing it's been 46 years since we were in school as a freshman. And what I shared with the school is my mother, when Larry asked me to serve in that capacity, or would you represent the Africa, what is it? Black Student Alliance.
Black Student Alliance.
Yeah.
I had to write my mother because, long distance calls were costly, even though my twin sister called often. But the day that she wrote me back was the day that I had to commit. So I saw Larry first. Then when I went to my mailbox, there was the letter from my mother that said, "You're just a freshman. What happened to all the juniors and seniors, and how much will it cost?" And so people that are in pageants are people that have been in pageants. And I was what you would constitute as a person that, as an athlete, you spend most of your time in the gym and in sweat. So this was really out of my circle.
And I can't remember anyone else that was from outside the state of Georgia. Did we have anyone else there that was not from? I don't remember anyone.
Not that I can remember.
There were probably a few others.
Oh, well, I mean, all of my gymnast friends were from out of state.
I'm talking about students. I'm talking about the BSA.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm talking about BSA.
Oh, okay.
No, not to my knowledge.
I can't remember anyone. So
I never thought about that.
Yeah, we grew up in Georgia. We understood the time it was. We understood when we made a choice to go to school in Milledgeville, Georgia, where we were going. And we understood that. Happy, go lucky young girl from Richmond, Virginia coming in and really not understanding where we were and how we were probably told by our parents to protect ourselves because they knew where they were sending us. But you were the happy-go-lucky person that everybody was wanted to be around because of who you were and your personality. So that's a good thing.
I came for gymnastics. If I hadn't had the opportunity to do gymnastics, I would have been sick,
What did you say, Brenda?
He had the personality that would reach across party lines.
Yes.
Yes. With all people included.
That's it.
And that's one of the reasons. Go ahead, Kathy.
Even to the point of her talent, using her gymnastic skills for her talent that night. She put a little, she put that jazz in there with those
and she just did it. She brought different cultures. Yeah. Brought in some African-American culture, some Caucasian, and some other ethnicities. But overall, if you put that jazz in there, that was us.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow. I was just going to say that because of your personality, Monica, and the fact that you had come from that athletic background, I think that in part was one of the reasons you handled the notoriety and the popularity that went along with that title so well, because it never went to your head. It really never did. And, you know, we all know that for some people, things like that really would go to their head and they would be different because of it. And you never were. And that's why I admired you so much and thought you were such an example to be in that role at that time. I mean, it was just a great time, you know, for a person like you to be in that role, because your example was really, you know, delightful, you know, to follow because of the attitude that, you know, that you had and the way that you carried yourself. So it just made it easier for all of us to embrace you the way we did. Don't, you know, I thought it did.
Very humble, very humble. That goes a long way. That goes a long way.
Very humble from the very beginning to the very end, and stayed that way and was always sweet and kind and caring about other people. And that's what made it so easy, I think, for you to carry the weight of that on your shoulders so well.
Right. And we cannot leave out that tenacious smile. She always.
That's right. She had a beautiful smile. She could put it on even when she smiled no matter what.
Sure did.
Yeah, have been.
And I think one of the things too, because she was a competitor. Being up there on that stage, for some of the rest of us probably would have been shaking in our shoes. But she was used to being the center of attention because she was a competitor. Now, she had gymnastics already started. Had you already had?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, on the day of the pageant, they give interviews, and I had a gymnastics meet. I had to run to the basement, take a shower in the gym, and throw on a dress and run to be the last person interviewed. So you go through this. So I guess there was a T. I didn't participate because I was at the meet, but I know that Brenda met me to throw some makeup on my face because she knew I didn't know what I was doing in that department. And then I went into the interview.
I always put a ram in the bush.
I like the way you say that.
And I'm almost certain that Jackie and them got my clothes over there because I don't know how that even happened. And I guess Butch and Larry went the mats for me to tumble on. It was a team effort. And so it gave me an opportunity to reflect. When I was recording with my brother, I was just choking up because I met so many great people.
It's okay. It's all right.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
I'm so fortunate as I think back how great y'all were to me, because I just couldn't imagine being in school and not being able to do gymnastics. So I know I got pictures of Beverly and everything. Beverly is in gymnastics pictures. I'm on the mat and Beverly's at the end. She's in a picture. Sitting in the audience.
We know we were there. That's all that matters.
We were always available to you.
Yes, and I'm just forever grateful to really think back about how fortunate I have been because of you guys. I don't know how I would have done it. I just had to keep my commitment to the Black Student Alliance, and then I was in something that I had never anticipated. So I wanted to thank y'all for coming in and sharing your perspective, because I thought it was important that we share this with the school.